How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. First off, Happy New Year to everyone watching. I truly appreciate y'all. Before we start this video, I just want to say my condolences to David Stern, former NBA commissioner who passed away at age 77. Prayers to the Stern family and his loved ones. The NBA wouldn't be where it is today without him. I was fortunate enough to meet him and shake his hand 4 years ago at the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. He will be truly missed. Let's take a look at 10 NBA players who will become more famous in 2020. Starting with Michael Porter Jr., who continues to take advantage of his minutes after the team gave him his first career start December 29. The 6'10 forward balled out, scored 19 points on 8 of 10 shooting, just 26 minutes, also a career best. After Millsap came back the following game, MPJ continued his stellar performance, scored 7 points in just under 11 minutes. Despite only averaging 5.3 points through 24 games, he's finally showing his potential, being on a team that was a game away from advancing to the conference finals a season ago. The Nuggets basically have the same team this season, but Porter Jr. can be a serious X factor in a tough, critical playoff series. Has been active and attentive in limited minutes, putting good effort defensively, not known for his D as the number 2 high school prospect in 2017. If injury free, being his height with a smooth jumper and decent handles, he'll be very hard to guard. Spencer Dinwiddie of the Brooklyn Nets. Most people outside of New York are sleeping on the Nets and don't bother paying attention since Kyrie's been out for a while with a shoulder injury and also Caris LeVert's been out. But the brilliance of Dinwiddie can't be ignored. Not only is he averaging 23, 3, and 6 a game, he's been fearless down the stretch, closing out games, single-handedly winning games for the Nets, keeping them in playoff position. Won Eastern Conference Player of the Week mid-December. The 26-year-old can possibly become an all-star this season. From being a 6-man candidate to now being the best player the last month and a half, has a knack of drawing fouls once KD and Kyrie comes back. When Brooklyn's in serious contention in 2021, expect Dinwiddie to play a similar role to Lou Williams of the Clippers. When both superstars struggle on the same night, Dinwiddie's more than capable in closing out games down the stretch by himself. Bam Adebayo. In case y'all still sleeping on him, Bam's clearly been Miami's MVP this season so far, on verge to becoming an all-star. His numbers don't look too eye-popping, but does a little bit of everything. A future Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Giannis is the only other player to average more than 15, 10, 3 assists, a block, and a steal. The 22-year-old had 2 triple-doubles in 3 games when he was named Eastern Conference Player of the Week. A double-double machine half his nights. When teams try to switch, Bam's certainly capable of holding his ground against the quicker perimeter guys. His defensive versatility allows him to be on the floor in critical moments in the modern NBA. Plays with Mulder, attacks aggressively, draws more fouls this season than LeBron James and Ben Simmons. Not only is Adebayo a high candidate for most improved player, but he's redefining the center position, and many bigs in the future will look to possess his skills, working on their mobility to be effective against the smaller, quicker guys, perhaps a transcendent player if he keeps up his production. Brandon Clarke of the Memphis Grizzlies, one of the most slept on young players this season. The 23-year-old rookie is quietly having a stellar start to his career, putting up 13 a game on nearly 65% shooting. The 6'8 power forward could actually be John Morant's top competition for NBA Rookie of the Year. His ability to play above the rim is a huge boost for this young team, developing some chemistry early. Clarke was the 21st pick. Knowing what we know now, he would have likely been a top 10 pick, averaging 22 and 9 per 36 minutes. His game had a lot of risk coming into the draft, being undersized for a power forward. Now he's on pace to become the most efficient rookie all time. Aaron Holiday of the Indiana Pacers. In his second season, the 23-year-old has been terrific for Indy lately. Had a 9-game stretch posting averages of 16.4 points on 52% shooting. A huge boost for the balanced Pacer team, will be a huge spark as the 6th man once Big Oladipo comes back. Brought plenty of excitement during the holiday season. The 3 Holiday brothers all made NBA history, sharing a magical moment together, all 3 being on the court at the same time. After losing his spot in the rotation early in the season, Holiday stepped up after Malcolm Brogdon was hurt for a couple games, becoming a key contributor. His development has been a success so far. Before November 18, there were many doubts about his future, but those doubts have been answered. Duncan Robinson of the Miami Heat. I didn't put Tyler Hero on this list since he's already famous and getting coverage, known for his fearlessness and clutch shot making, but Robinson can very well win the 3-point shootout if he gets invited to participate in 2020 without question. At 6'7", the 25-year-old is averaging over a dozen points on over 46% shooting from 3, now one of the best outside shooters on the planet. Just a few years ago, he was playing Division III ball where the likelihood of making the NBA was 0.1%. 6'10", probably less, was sensational at the University of Michigan, but wasn't even considered a prospect. Robinson has been a huge rotation player for Miami, will be in position to knock down some big time shots come playoff time. Davis Bertans of the Washington Wizards. The 6'10" forward will be making a lot of bread come summer 2020. It will be very difficult for the Wizards to afford him with their bad contracts. The 27-year-old is averaging over 15 a game on over 43% shooting from 3, the second best player on his team all season after putting up single digits his first 3 seasons with San Antonio, being underutilized. The biggest regret of the Spurs in 2019 was trading him away. Nobody could have predicted how good he will be, and with Washington having no hope to succeed this season, teams will be clearing their cap space to sign the Lafayette native. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who still gets little to no media coverage since he plays for the small market team in OKC, shockingly in the playoff race even though it's still early on the season. The 6'5" point guard's offensive prowess has been a thing of beauty, having a much improved outside stroke and fearless down the stretch, averaging close to 20 a game, over 5 rebounds, increasing his point average by 9 from a season ago. SGA had a masterful 32-point performance against the Raptors, the most by a Canadian in a game versus Toronto. The youngest Thunder not named KD or Russ to score that many points for the franchise stepped up and elevated his game when Dennis Schroeder and Danilo Gallinari went out, excelling on both ends of the floor. CP3 has been a great mentor for the rising star, playing like a 5-year veteran. He's also playing better than Ben Simmons this season. If the Thunder make the playoffs, it will be considered a huge success given their rebuilding process. The team will have a bright future and already have their franchise point guard. Jonathan Isaac, after hyperextending his left knee, which looked to be serious, it appears the 6'10" forward will be alright. The 22-year-old has been putting everything together his third season with averages of over 12 points, 7 boards at the starting 3. Isaac also averages over 1.5 steals, 2.5 rejections. The 7'1" wingspan has been a nightmare to opposing teams, with the Magic a borderline playoff team. Isaac is finally living up to his expectations, a real candidate to become the Magic's first consensus star since Dwight Howard. Viewed as the guy with the most upside, the former 6 overall pick's a nice all-around player who does a little bit of everything. If he continues to make a leap similar to Pascal Siakam, he should be eligible for his rookie contract next offseason with a projected max of $181 million over 5 years. Kelly Oubre Jr., who's playing the best ball of his career this season. A year ago, he was only famous for Dwight Howard reasons. Now at 24 years old, putting up 18 a game at nights, Oubre Jr. looks like the best player on his team. The Wizards were dumb to get rid of him, having multiple monster dunks this season. Phoenix was lucky enough to sign him for a 2-year $30 million deal, well worth it. If his game continues to improve, his popularity, swag, and style will continue to grow, being very assertive on the season and taking it to the hole relentlessly, having a highlight almost every night now. His celebrity status will go through the roof. Honorable mentions includes Anthony Simons, the 20-year-old shooting guard with the Portland Trail Blazers, doesn't hesitate to shoot, a huge improvement from his rookie season. Mitchell Robinson of the New York Knicks, if he learns to stop fouling when he's on the floor, he's one of the most efficient players around the rim and an elite shot blocker, excelling under Mike Miller. And Devontae Graham, who's been the best player for Charlotte all seasons, playing like an all-star. I didn't mention him on this list since he's already getting a lot of recognition. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you. See you next time.